Quick hits, part of the show where I talk about three things that you may have seen in the news. First one, China's Huawei develops a new AI chip seeking to match Nvidia. Yes, now that Nvidia is not able to sell chips into China without a license, companies like Huawei are taking that as an opportunity. Number two, Trump's tariffs are attacking the U.S. trade deficit. Does it need fixing? I don't think it does, and many people would agree with that. And our last point, Walmart, Target, CEOs privately warned Trump tariffs could lead to empty shelves soon. These are the three things that I've seen in the news recently that have caught my eye. So let's go to the first one, the Huawei situation. And as I said, recently, Nvidia was told that you need a license to be able to sell your H20 chips into China. And as we know, we can show our chart that goes along with this topic. There it is. We know that Nvidia keeps making new chips for China amid the U.S. crackdown. And every time it makes a chip, it's never as powerful as the chips it has for everybody else. It makes a weaker and weaker chip that it sells to China. And you can see here that they've introduced many chips. The last ones being the H20 chips, then Nvidia introduces in 2024 February L20, L2 chips. So constantly revamping, trying to meet what Washington has said they need to do before they can ship chips to China for artificial intelligence. And now looks like the United States has outright told Nvidia you cannot ship anything without a license. In the meantime, other competitors have been moving into and gaining traction in the Chinese market. Definitely not good for Nvidia, and we'll see how that plays out. Our second point, which are Trump tariffs have been designed to attack the trade deficits. Keep in mind, when the United States has a trade deficit with a country, it just means that they're buying more from that country than that country is buying from them. And when you look at the United States, such a big and powerful and wealthy nation, you compare that to a nation like Vietnam or a smaller country in Asia or even in Europe, yes, you're going to have a trade deficit because you buy or they're buying more from that country. Let's say Nike goes to Vietnam and sets up shop and brings over all their products, or China brings over their products. The United States is buying these goods. So yes, it shows that there is a trade deficit, but that's a good thing. That's a good reason. It's not that they're lending money to everybody and they're blowing money frivolously. They are buying goods. And when they're buying more than what they're selling, you have a trade deficit. So I don't believe it needs fixing. All this talk about trade deficits and the administration trying to reduce it to zero, I don't think it can be done, to be honest with you. I don't think you're ever going to get Vietnam buying from the United States as much as they're buying from Vietnam, but we'll see what happens. Our third point is the CEOs going to Washington and talking about empty shelves. Could we see empty shelves in the United States? Could Walmart show empty shelves in their stores? And I think that really scared at least the administration. If it didn't, I think it should, because it is very possible that we're either going to see goods in the United States a lot more expensive that you buy at Amazon or Walmart, Target, Costco, or you might see no goods at all. And we have a chart here that shows basically blank sailings increase as the trade war continues. And what this chart shows, and you can read it here, in the 12th week, 2025, blank sailing schedule for the beginning of May, we're near zero. You can see that on the far left of the chart. They were as high as 40% of all ships crossing the Pacific 4 weeks later. What does that mean? Well, blank sailings means that you have ships that are destined for the United States, but if they have nothing to drop off at the U.S., they will skip the U.S. and deliver those goods somewhere else. So we're now seeing as many as 40% of ships not actually coming to the U.S. any longer. They're skipping the United States and going elsewhere to sell their goods. So something I think the administration needs to be focused on, something that definitely caught my eye over the last couple of weeks, and something I wanted to bring to all your attention. So all these things hopefully will get the president to continue to try to negotiate with these countries and make some trade deals as soon as possible.